edges that will be joining onto the zip on the back of the cushion with a zigzag stitch. There's no need to zigzag forward and back at the end because we're going to be cutting that off anyway, and then do the second piece. I'm deliberately using obvious colours of thread so that you can see it for this example, but obviously if you can use colours of thread that are the same colours of your fabric, that would be a much better thing to do. So once again, we'll change the foot to a zipper foot because I had put the normal foot back on to do the zigzagging. Okay, and we're just going to start about a centimetre down, depending on the length of your zip, as long as you've got a generous amount of space there. Centimetre down from the metal end of the zip, and that's because that's going to be cut off anyway. So we'll just put that down, move the needle over a bit because we're using the zipper foot, and off we go. Once again, you should use thread that matches your zip. This is good for an example. Once again, just following the line of the fabric as you go. Finishing it off there. Okay, so it's great when your zip is extra long because you don't have to worry about going around the slide. This is the second half of the zip. I'm lining it up where I finished the last side, and then we will sew down the edge of it again, forward and back, and then right down the length of the fabric. Make sure you are pulling this one out of the way enough and you don't collect it as you're sewing down this side of the zip. So now you have a piece of fabric like this. So both sides of the zip are attached. We'll go to the ironing board. Okay, so now we've got the zip that we've just sewn in. We're going on the ironing board. We're just going to fold this top piece down. I've decided that the bulk of the back of the cushion is going to be this spotty colour. So I'm folding it down almost even to the edge of the zip there. So we'll end up with a concealed zip. I'm going to iron that on, and then I'm just going to put a few pins in so I know where to sew a line of stitching that creates the flap and the concealed zip. Now this line of stitching will also catch the top edge of the zip in it, and a way to do that is to turn it over and just check where your pins have come through. So obviously I want to keep it towards the top of that line of the zip, and that's what I'll be aiming for, where that second one is. Okay, we'll go back to the sewing machine. Okay, so now we're going to sew that line of straight stitching to make the concealed flap. I'm using the zipper foot again. I've moved it across to the left. I've moved the needles across to the right, and I'm just going to follow the line of the zip to make a straight stitch. Oops. Okay. So that is the concealed flap. I'm just going to iron that and then cut off the ends of the zip. Okay, right now I'm just going to sew on my Shiny Happy Art tag. I like using tags because my kids know that I've made it, and my husband has told them that if it has a Shiny Happy Art tag, it means it's made with love. So I think even if you use ribbon or something, do something so that your kids know that it was made by you. So even just a loop of a special coloured ribbon would do the job. Cut those edges off. Oops, I need to neaten that up. Anyway, so there's the tag. Alright, so now we're going to cut the ends of the zip off. but it's very important that you open the zip and have the slider inside the body of the cushion before you cut the ends off, because I've made that mistake. So then you cut off your ends there, and then I'm going to have it about 1/3 purple and 2/3 blue spot. So I'm just going to lay this on the top and cut the backing to size. Right, this nifty guillotine here. And now you can see how handy having the different coloured thread on the back will be, because basically we're just going to sew those together. The only place you need to pin really is where the zip is separated on the back there. So make sure you've got your zip open, otherwise you won't be able to turn it inside out to about halfway, and then just put a few pins in to keep the zip together when you come along to sew that. And you might want to put a couple of pins in the body of the cushion as well, just to keep it together when we sew around the edges. Okay, back to the machine. Right, so now we're going to use this line of stitching to put the back and the front together. We need to sew just on top of it or just inside it, and I'm using the zipper foot again, moved across to the left, and we'll just follow that line of stitching around. Down to about a 3.5 stitch length. Never start sewing your cushion on a corner, because you will end up with a pucker. So make sure you're a bit of the way in. Okay, let's go. Forward and back to start. Off we go. And trim your threads. Snip the corners, all 4 of these corners. Take out the pins. Now I am going to just zigzag these edges, which adds an extra line of stitches to reinforce the ones we've just done. So, okay, I've changed the feet over again so that I can do the zigzag stitch, and I'm just going to go around the entire cushion. I've turned the cushion cover inside out, or right side out, ironed it and stuffed it. So this is the back and this is the front, and the piping really adds a nice level of detail, I think. So thank you.